Hello, VC Mark here. Welcome to the second episode of Rare Diamonds. And without further ado, Stephen Patrick Morrissey on his 1997 release, Maladjusted. I'll show you the album. There were 3 singles released from this album. The title track, Alma Maters, and Satan Rejected My Soul. Just a pretty basic label. Then it had a inner sleeve with the lyrics printed. Take that out for you. Just give you some statistics on the album. I think you could probably find it for about $100. Not bad if you're a true Smiths Morrissey fan. It's well worth the price. There's about 700 people who own it and about the same amount who are looking for it. So again, these albums will only appreciate in time. The jury is still out on the album. I love it. I think it's really strong. Morrissey was, I think, embattled with some ex-Smith members at the time. There were some lawsuits. He was not in a good place. And I have to say, as much as I love Morrissey's music with the Smiths and then on his own, I'm not the nicest man. And sometimes I have problems separating the artist from the individual, let's say. I remember vividly hearing the Smiths on the radio for the first time. Right off the bat, I was hooked. I loved Morrissey's lyrics, Johnny Marr's guitar, just how he kept his English accent. And then I purchased the albums, the 7-inch singles, loved the art direction. Back in the day, there was no internet. So a lot of these artists, especially the English bands, were kind of shrouded in mystery. I used to subscribe to, I believe, Q Magazine, which is a UK magazine. Learned a little bit about Morrissey, just really connected with them. The music of that band has never lost its urgency. It affects me today like it did back in the 80s. It's just something that I truly love. I also love Morrissey's solo works. Not really a bad album in the bunch. Getting back to maybe talking about the Smiths a little bit, bands are complex. They're like relationships. When you're in a band, it's a very intimate relationship. And when it works, it really works, and when it doesn't, when there's a fallout, it's very harsh, and it's too bad because you see and you hear of these bands that have created just fantastic art, great music, and they cannot walk up on a stage together to accept an award, or they're embattled in lawsuits. It's just too bad, and I think Morrissey really was not fair to the other gentlemen in the band. Mike Joyce, who was the drummer in the band, ultimately sued Morrissey, won the case. There's a song on this album entitled "Sorrow Will Find You in the End." Morrissey enraged at Mike. It was a direct hit at him. Actually left off of the original UK release. My point is, it's tragic. Everyone in a band contributes, even if they don't compose the song. It's their playing, it's their presence, their image that is going to connect with the public. And I'm thinking of Prince and the Revolution and Wendy and Lisa specifically. Those two brought so much to Prince's work, and there's been discussion that during that time, Prince surrounded himself with musicians that maybe were not up to task. Well, that's that's false. Wendy and Lisa were trained musicians. Wendy's father was actually a session player, part of the Wrecking Crew, and Lisa's father was also a session player. So they came from musical families. From the time that they joined the band, Prince's music kind of expanded. If you look at, let's say, Wendy's guitar work on Purple Rain, Prince composed the song. He played the basic chords on the piano, tasked Wendy of coming up with the guitar part. She did a fantastic job. I'm not a guitar player. I do play the piano, and I believe the chords that Wendy came up with were B flat sus2 over D, a G minor 7 sus4, F at just an F with an added ninth, and then an E flat with an added seventh. Those voicings were not in Prince's vocabulary at the time, and those offer so much to that song. It just really fills out the sound. So what I'm trying to say is, did they get writing credit? No. Did they enhance the music that Prince was composing? Absolutely. Same thing for Lisa. Lisa first met Prince at his home in Minneapolis. I believe that's where she first interviewed. And it was not comfortable. It was not going well. Prince, I believe, walked into another room. Wendy was just kind of pacing. She sat down at a piano that Prince had in his home. And this is at his Kiowa Trail home. She just started noodling on the piano. Beautiful classical chords. Prince heard that, realized that, okay, this is someone that's going to add something to my music. This is a different palette. He went back down, smiled. She knew she got the gig. And I mean, history was made. That was his peak period. He was surrounded by great talent. I really admire artists that give due credit to the musicians around them. Boy, I've really gone off point, kind of rambling. But one of my favorite songs on this album is Why to Receive. If you're not familiar with it, just give it a listen on YouTube. Beautiful song. Beautiful, just minor chords throughout. Probably my favorite song on this album. So if you are a Morrissey fan, Smiths fan, this is worth seeking out. I don't know if this is going to be repressed. To my knowledge, this album has never been repressed. It was released on CD, I think, in 2009, and they excluded a couple of the tracks. I don't recall which ones. Oh, I believe Papa Jack and oh geez, Roy's Keene were not included on the CD. If I'm wrong, I'm sure someone will tell me in the comments. Anyway, other than that, I think this stands alone. I usually don't post videos where I kind of share my personal feelings about the artist or really speak to the songs, so I hope you'll bear with me. I'm not great at it. Cheers to you. Cheers to Morrissey. Stay safe.